Normally I go down this bike path. But I feel like going over here and checking out this I'm a road trip guy right now. Look at this. Look at the erosion. Now when I was here, back in the early 70s, I'm talking the early 70s, the beach did go out another 20 yards here. Early 70s. Since then, I've never known this beach to be that big. But they've always had beach erosion from around the lighthouse area here and to that beach. So it's just the offshore tides. You dump rocks there, basically make a jetty. It's a simple lighthouse, built in 1884. I don't know when this latest lighthouse was built, but it was a long time ago. A couple of the early ones. That pathway there goes in the back. We're going to try to go to the beach here. We're going to check that. We're going straight. I don't know how much more I can rest it because this trail is getting really dry, granular, soft. Alright, I'm going to go over and check that. Hello? Alright, here we go. So this is called protected wildlife habitat on both sides of the trail. No live shelling, please. I used to say the only thing you leave is your footprints. I think they took that way. Oh, there's not even enough beach here to bicycle. Yeah, high tide. Look at that. There's a nice beach over there. This is an excellent place to hang out. Where people are drinking, standing in the surf. It's pretty awesome. Not enough beach to bicycle on. It's too beach is too high. There's not enough room to get by anyway. And it says high tide. Alright. Go back this way. But it's gorgeous though. With high tide you get bigger waves. It's nice. Try to go on this inner road here. It's kind of sandy here. I don't know if I can make it. Actually, I'm going this other road over here. I think this is the old lighthouse here. This brown structure. It probably uses a cistern now, but I'm pretty sure that was the old lighthouse, the very first lighthouse. That's usually how it was. The old lighthouse fell down and built a cistern. Yeah, I used to walk barefoot when I was a young kid, and I used to love it. To feel the shells underneath, step on something, hit your foot. But when you're young, your foot heals it so fast. When you get older, forget it. I'm with surf walkers right now. On the side, I have to put my foot down in the water or sand, no problem. And then you have to also understand that the sun is hot. When it hits concrete or asphalt, especially black asphalt, oh my gosh, that's really hot. So having surf walkers, that's a necessity. Even if you walk out to the sandbar, you don't have to worry with the surf walkers stepping on like stingrays or sharp shells or sea urchins or even almost fighting punks with those big little pincers that come out try to pinch you, or crabs. That's the nice thing about surf walkers. So I always walk them where I go. I mean, if I'm jumping in the pool, obviously take them out there. Or if I'm walking just like an old sandbar area that I know I could see down this quality clear, soft sand area. We're only like 20 yards away from a paved. Oh, Right. Wow. Alright, now we're going across the causeway. A lot of people here. Shade. Oh. There's bathrooms coming up on the right hand side. They have nice drink fountains there. Water in Sanibel is supposed to be reverse osmosis. Who knows if that's true or not? It tastes alright. It's got that sandy taste to it still. I don't care how reverse osmosis it is, it still has that beach water taste. Alright. That's crowded here. See if I see it open parking there. I'm not sure if there was one. I'm curious if there's a spot. Yeah, I see one. Oh, wait. Small buses. There's a small bus spot. Huh? Hard to say. I don't really see a spot. I see a lot of people still coming to the beach. You know, that's what they should do. They should offer like a discount. People coming to Sanibel after a certain time, after 2 o'clock. Give them a break on the toll. Come on. I mean, businesses on Sanibel would love that. That's what basically drives people to Sanibel anyway. You want the people to, you know, $6 to get across, still $6. You want those timeshare people to come across, that's for sure. You need them. Alright, so now we're heading westbound. This is Periwinkle. The place on the left here, they were building this in the mid to late 80s. It used to be a nice forest of Australian pines in here, sea grape trees. It was one of the few areas along the Gulf that was undeveloped, but you know, money talks. The developer bought it. There we go. It's been developed. Some of these roads, though, on the left-hand side, that used to be sand shell roads. Some of them are still sand shell roads. That's where you're going to get your best real estate value, because people, for whatever reason, don't like shell roads, so those are going to be not sought after as much. So if you go on a shell road, like Ferry Road on the left, that's a shell road. People, for some reason, think it's a backwoods or something, but you know what? Property is good on there. This was the road people would come into Sanibel before the causeway. So the ferry boat would drop them off here. The ferry boat would leave at Punta Rasa, and it would drop off here. And Punta Rasa, I think it was Hurricane Keith in 1987 or something like that, destroyed the final vestiges of the ferry moorings on Punta Rasa, if you recall. And then they did away with it. And then they eventually did away with the park. There used to be a free public park there, right at the toll plaza, that everyone loved. And I don't know why they did away with that, but they want people to pay the money, go across the bridge. So people stopped doing that. They went down a little ways and occupied private property. Yeah, so this used to go to a little landing area where the car ferry would take, I think, up to 6 cars or 8 cars and maybe 2 dump trucks. The cement mixers were usually half the ferry was cement mixers anyway, so you had to wait like 30 minutes to get across. And it was 2 ferries that were working it. And one of the ferries' name was Algiers. I forget the other one's name was. Both of them got destroyed. So the ferry operators didn't have enough money to repair them, so you can either get to Sanibel by boat or you can get to it by airplane. That's why there was 3 airfields in that one. But once the causeway opened, to tell you the truth, the airplane traffic died, and the need for obviously the ferries didn't need that anymore. brick lane is still a sand road both sides. There used to be a hotel here. I'm not sure if they converted it or not. But any property in this area is still a good value. I don't care how much it is. I don't care if it's $2 million. Right now, $2 million is cheap in this area. So that's all they have to consider. You know, if they get $2 million on the water, oh my God, they got to steal. You know, on the river, on Fort Myers, on Caloosahatchee River, you know, prices start at $2 million. And if you can get it under $2 million, my gosh. There was a house on a canal within 100 feet of the river, sold for $750,000. I thought that was a steal. Whoever bought that probably bought that in a heartbeat. You know, they can almost flip that for $1.3, $1.4 million right now. Right now, just resell it. They'll make $600,000. A friend of mine just listed this house for 1.2. He'll get it. Just gotta wait a little bit. Alright. You gotta watch those little water manholes, whatever you want to call them. Water sewer. Recessed a little bit. Make a nice bump. A lot of people are walking, just enjoying themselves. I don't know if I want to spend. Some of these hotels are running $500 a night. I don't know if I want to spend $500 a night and then take a walk with an ice cream. Unless for some reason you can get 50 people in the hotel room and you know, you can share it that way. It's not really. You come in on a bus, 50 people. You rent one hotel room, the bathroom is non-stop being used. Probably don't even want to sleep in there because the bathroom is being used. I don't know. I don't know if that's my way of vacationing. But if you could rent a hotel room and then stay in an RV in the parking lot, you know, 50 people are inside that hotel room, but if you stay in the RV and there's nobody else in the RV, that's not too bad. Oh, they probably charge extra for the RV anyway. But I'm seeing a lot of these fat three-wheelers. I wonder if they rent them specifically so people can ride on the beach. Probably. See, aluminum is necessary here in Florida. And don't get any other type of roof because Florida, we have rain and sunshine, and we also have wind. And the problem in Florida is that now aluminum does what's called sweat, so water sometimes will get through aluminum. Like that roof over there is what's called, it could be a steel roof, a painted steel roof. Those roofs are okay too. I've seen fiberglass steel roofs, not fiberglass, porcelain steel roofs. Those roofs are okay, and they'll actually, if they're a porcelain steel roof like that blue roof, it's slippery though. If you want to clean the top of it, you gotta have almost like those sponge, like gripping shoes on, but yeah, and you can only clean it in the morning because in the afternoon, forget it. Any type of wind, you get blown up the roof. But aluminum is the best because aluminum reflects the sunlight because it's silver, and it reflects that sunlight, and that's the good thing about it. If 80% of the light is reflected, then that's 80% less absorption. Aluminum does radiate both ways, so if you get an aluminum roof, they always say you should have a 3/4 inch of sponge back that you put on the roof between the aluminum and your top coating, your wood or whatever your top coat, because you don't want to hear. Obviously, you want soundproofing too. So 3/4 that sponge back, whatever you want to call it, the stuff that is black tarp that seals, but they have stuff that's 3/4 of an inch thick. That stuff will provide a sound barrier, so it'd be really quiet. So if it rains in the middle of the night, you won't get woken up by like jungle drums going on. That would also keep the radiated heat from re-entering your house, so that your attic is cool. And that's the way to go. Tile roofs can withstand a lot, but in a hurricane, they just, stuff flies against them. Unlike aluminum will. Aluminum can roll up. I've seen wind roll up aluminum, but aluminum, for the most part, if it's anchored well, screwed in good, will withstand hurricane winds pretty good. And if something flies against it, like it will, it has that tensile strength, whereas a tile roof will crack almost immediately. And once a tile roof cracks, it's really hard to fix that. It's sloppy. It takes a lot of money to fix a tile roof, and it's very dangerous. Okay, thanks. So definitely go with aluminum roof. Shingles have a 20-year life. Aluminum's got like a 40-year life. Tile, I don't know. Tile is somewhere between shingles and aluminum. So it's like a 30-40 year life. That's only if you don't have trees in your yard. And if you have tile, that's really what you can't have in your yard. You can't have tall trees. That's it. You can't have stuff that the wind can push over. You can't have telephone poles. You can't have, the neighbor can't have trees. So when you're building a tile home, and you can't have wind miles over 140 miles per hour, over 140 miles an hour. Really anything could fly. But aluminum, if it's bolted down correctly, you'll hear it. It will start shimmering. But shingles are just the worst. 120 plus miles an hour, they go airborne. And I've had, in Hurricane Irma hit, we had 90 minutes of eye wall sitting on top of us. 90 minutes. Wow. And power went out immediately. Hurricane Charlie, we didn't lose power until the eye wall hit us, but the eye wall was only over us, and it was gone in 15 minutes. And that was 130 miles an hour. Irma, we had 140 miles an hour for almost 90 minutes. And I'm telling you, yeah, so we lost a lot of shingles. And Hurricane Charlie, we lost like 3 shingles. But Hurricane Irma, we lost like a whole side facing the brunt of the wind. And one thing about Florida, though, is that you really have to think about what you're doing in Florida. If you're retiring and you have a lot of kids and you like swimming, definitely get a pool. Pool is worth it. If you have a big family and they're always using the pool on a day in, day out basis, yeah, you don't want to be shuttling them to the community pool or going to the beach every single minute. Having a pool is definitely needed. If you have a small family and you work all the time, or you want to just travel and you're just here in Florida just to relax, having a pool is a detriment. You don't want a pool. So it's one thing you want to consider when you come to Florida, because the cost of a pool is expensive. What you have to do now is you have to buy a saltwater pool. It costs $600 to install and about another $100 for the salt. But the saltwater system regulates chlorine automatically in your pool. So that's the nice thing about a saltwater pool. I've not had a saltwater pool. I want to get one. Just thinking about buying a house without a pool. so I don't have to worry about it. I'm just too busy. I love a pool, but there's other pools. I swim elsewhere. It doesn't really matter. I like going on trips too. Anyway. You hear from my garage sale videos, I'm always asking for chlorine tablets for my trash nets. Because I don't know, I've seen the burn through them all the time. I have a big stockpile right now, but you never know. I give away some too. Hey, Sanibel Causeway? It's pretty light right now. Usually it's non-stop. I'm keeping my eyes down the road looking through those nails. Porcelain and glass. They need to get one of those street sweepers on the bridge here and clean this stuff, because this bridge has been dirty for the last couple of years. Approaching the convergence zone. I can see that flag flying. It's flying at least 25 knots. It's strong right now out there. But that's just locally in this bay. Once you get past the convergence zone, get a little bit past Ponderassa, then obviously the wind will change directions on you, 180 degrees. Just waving at the boats, they're waving back. That bump almost turned off my camera. Maybe it did. There's these 3 to 4 inch gaps in the concrete. Maybe in the summertime the concrete will expand enough and fill these gaps, but they should really stick rubber in there because this is kind of dangerous to have these gaps. Wow, there's an eagle right over the road here. No, not an eagle, but a seahawk. Osprey, they call him. He's flying right above the road here. He's looking down in the water. It's not a seagull, it's not a night cormorant. Maybe it's a seagull. I don't know what it is actually. He's hunting. He's looking for something in the water. He's using the bridge as cover. So the shadow is being cast on the bridge, not the water, so the fish can't see that there's a bird looking down. Smart bird doing that. Oh, here's a dog running across the causeway. Hello. That's cute. It's pretty good. So you can use your dog to pull you across the bridge on your bike. Nice. See, you don't even need to have electric vehicles. Just get a dog. Dog doesn't care, just like the Iditarod, the dog would go 1,000 miles, it's fine with it. As long as there's some food, ice cream at the end of the rainbow, sure. The dog will pull you. Especially sausage, oh man. I think my dog knew the word sausage. He said, you want some sausage? Oh my God, the dog was like, oh, I'll talk about sausage, I can smell sausage right now. Oh, and hamburgers and chicken, oh my gosh. There's multiple grills going here. Oh, it smells just totally awesome. This is Sanibel Causeway Island, number 2. So a lot of people are packing up, but people are still coming. Some people are still inflating some of their rafts, so they're still coming. I like the first Causeway Island better. Because accessibility here on this island, and a little more parking. Obviously, it's a little bit bigger. But the other island just seems to has, I don't know, I like the little charm about it. Maybe on this island they plant some more trees, and these trees were to get more mature and bigger, they'd have more character, but I like the other island. These are the larger trees. We need to start planting some more trees here. See, I don't like, a lot of people are ripping down some of these branches to feed their fires. I don't like that. Oh, I see they have some little rock jetties out here to protect the beach. Well, that's not going to do any good. It's sad to say, but they should make offshore parallel jetties about maybe 100 feet offshore. That would really stop the currents from coming in. And it wouldn't necessarily stop the erosion, but it will stop big waves from coming in. So I guess my legs are feeling slightly fatigued. I'm just starting to feel fatigue coming in, but you're still okay. I'm fighting that headwind. I still haven't passed the conversion zone. I won't get past the conversion zone probably until I get past the toll booth. Still see signs of the old bridge here. They built this new bridge very similar to the old bridge, where the guardrail is kind of transparent a little bit, so you can see through. I love that. The old bridge was like that too. They built concrete with steel reinforcing on the inside, but very minimal, so you can look out and see the water. I like how they did the same thing with this bridge. Pelicans all around his boat. He's throwing a cast net in, and then he's filling up bait buckets, and the pelicans are getting any fish they throws back. It's pretty cool. Pelicans are smart. They know when you're fishing. They can see it, obviously. Pelicans have excellent vision. They can see when you pull up fish. And pelicans know that humans are suckers. A cute little pelican begging for food. Oh, I can't resist his eyes. Yeah, feed him. I think we've hit the peak in bicycling. Everyone's bicycling. Although Walmart stores are full of bicycles now, so there's no shortage. Prices, they pretty much held the same, but they're starting to tick down a tiny bit. They were very expensive. They were charging order fees and assembly fees and every single fee you could possibly think of. Part, you could get, I think there still is an assembly fee they charge, but sometimes they waive that. The bike's been sitting out there long enough, they waive it. But usually when they waive it, that means there's a problem. You have to find the problem with the assembly. They left off something or... Right. Now here's the first Causeway Island. Look at that. You can just see it off in the distance. See that main arc. Look at the support structure holding the bridge up. That's totally amazing. See how it's goes off in a V design like that to hold the maximum amount of weight, and also to give the bridge stability because hurricane winds are pushing it from one direction or the other. Very strong. And that's the thing, what people don't realize here is that hurricane doesn't really affect this area that often. We had one time in the year 2006 where we had 4 hurricanes in a row, every weekend, 4 in a row. But in the 1530s and the 1540s, every single week of every year was a hurricane. And that was the decade of nothing but hurricanes. So weather patterns change even on Earth. Some areas of Earth become drier and wetter. It was documented only because there was a lot of pirates working in Florida around that time. They would salvage a lot of the wrecks that would happen in the Florida Keys and east and west coast of Florida. The west coast of Florida is where a lot of pirates hung out because it was good shelter to get away from a hurricane. I mean, Havana, Cuba is good too, but west coast of Florida just seems Fort Myers, San Carlos Bay, Charlotte Harbor. It's just a natural protection. And of course, the pirates know about that. They're the ones that would actually be sitting here. Like Gasparilla would be sitting up in Cayo Costa, Captiva, and had Caesar. He was the prodigy of Gasparilla. He was down here in Sanibel on Pine Island, as his base was. And then Gasparilla turned on him after Caesar attacked one of Gasparilla's outposts, and Gasparilla banished him to just south of Miami-Dade, just south of, or just north of Key Largo. There's a little island there. He made his headquarters before he died. There's a lot of treasures reportedly buried on Pine Island and Sanibel. $3 million on Sanibel and another $2 million treasure buried on Pine Island somewhere. Usually the pirates buried it between 6 and 10 feet deep, so that could be anywhere between 4 and 15 feet deep. Today's standard. Same thing on Sanibel. Sanibel would have been buried somewhere between Tarpon Bay and the lighthouse. Not on the coast side, but on the bay side here. Because